football is what I do. It's not who I am, and that's for sure.
Oh, wow. Woo! Coach Stepp! How you doing, man?
Good, brother.
All right now. Well, here's what I've got to do first and foremost. I have to make sure I have the right step. Because, here's what people don't know. Some may not know, some may know, is that you are an identical twin.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my first encounter when I came to South Carolina, and I was in the big meeting. Coach Beamer had everything going. I saw you in the back of the room, and I said to myself, I know that guy from somewhere. And you saw me just staring at you, right? And you're like, I know what he's thinking. And you let me off the hook easily and said, you're thinking about my twin brother.
Oh, yeah. He's in practice right now. They started yesterday, so
Wow.
you definitely have the right one today.
Oh, that's right. And he's in Louisville.
You got the best one.
Oh, I got the
You got the best one.
Coach Stepp, that is awesome. You ready to go cruising?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Rock and roll, baby. I've never been around a coach that knows the buttons to push and understands how to win a room. Your players absolutely adore you. I mean, and maybe you got some secrets there that you want to tell us. Can you tell me how relating to players, and they just rave about you?
Well, I'd like to tell you there's some kind of secret. I try to be myself every day. I try to be the same guy every day. I try to be consistent for my kids. That was the one thing I wanted as a player. I just wanted whoever was around, whoever was coaching me, to be the same guy every day. Never too high, never too low. Because at the end of the day, it's all about these kids. I had a coach tell me when I first got into this deal, said, hey, listen, it don't matter how many X's and O's you know. It don't matter how good you can recruit. At the end of the day, when that ball is kicked off on Saturday, those guys that are sitting in that room better want to play for you. So that's one thing I've always, taken with me in my career. And it doesn't mean that you're soft on the kids. It doesn't mean that you take it easy on them. It means that you hold them accountable, but it means that you love them. Like I think all my players know I love them, and it's a genuine love. And I think when your players know that's real, I think that's when you have a chance to do something really special, man.
Coach Stepp, now you're from Columbia.
Are
you were born here, or what's the connection with Columbia?
I always say Columbia because nobody ever knows where my hometown is. My hometown is Pillion, South Carolina. We didn't even have a red light until I was a sophomore. It was a blinking yellow light.
Oh, wow.
But my mom and dad went to the University of South Carolina. My sister went to USC Aiken. I grew up walking into the stadium every Saturday, so it's pretty special to be back home.
It's so obvious what you are about.
Yes,
and our guys, when you talk about student athletes and long term, you're talking 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yes, sir.
Your impact is a 50, 60-year impact.
Yeah.
It's not just winning on the football field, but you're teaching those guys how to be great people and great young men. Share a little bit about that, Coach, if you can.
Yeah, I think that's your number one job as a coach. There's some of these guys that we come across don't have a father figure in their lives. I want my players to see me as a husband. I want them to see me as a father. I just don't want them to think of me as a coach. Outside of my dad, the other males in my life that made the most impact on me were my coaches, my high school coaches, or the coaches I had in college. So I think, this time that we have these guys, I call them kids, that we have our players over the 3-4 years we have, and 5 years we have them here in this program, man, that's who they find out who they are as a man, who they want to be as a husband, who they want to be as a father. And I think that's, you want to talk about an unbelievable responsibility as a coach. So I take a great amount of pride in letting those guys be around my family, letting them see me as a dad and as a husband. I think that's critical.
I want to ask you a couple. I want to say some names, and I'm most interested in your response to these names.
Okay.
Let's start with are you ready to go to the top of the food chain?
Yeah.
You ready to handle it, Coach Stepp?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here we go. Now this is like a 9 route. Now help me, Coach. Isn't that the vertical?
That's a vertical.
That's a vertical, right? So we're going for it. We're going for it in the vertical deal here. So here we go. Shane Beamer.
Consistent. Just the same. He is the same guy every single day. It doesn't matter. We can have the worst practice. We can have the best practice. He's never too high, never too low. Same dude. Even kill.
Marcus Satterfield.
Mad scientist. Probably one of the smartest football coaches I've ever been around in my life. He'll think of things sometimes you're like, man, where in the world did you get that? But
I say the best for last, and it's certainly not least. When you leave the building and you head home, what do you go home to, and how have they played a role shaping who you are as a coach and just as a man and a father and a husband. Talk a little bit about that for us.
Man, they're my rock. They're the best thing about me, and I'm so much more than a football coach, man. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a son. Football is what I do. It's not who I am, and that's for sure.
Oh, wow. You know, and I think that's an unbelievable way to capture you, is who you are makes you who you are.
Yeah. Yes,
you know, if that makes any sense at all. I mean,
yes.
we are fortunate again to have you leading the room, leading the wide receiver room for South Carolina football. And I got a funny feeling, as Coach Beamer likes to say, we're just getting started.
Absolutely.
How about that,
I
Coach
appreciate
Stepp?
you, man.
Coach
I'm glad to
Stepp,
be a
thank
part.
you, man.
Yes, sir.
You better believe it. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for being a part. And I got to end with my famous closing now. Here we go. And go, Gamecocks. How about
Love it,
that?
baby.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Cruising with the Coaches, presented by EasyGo. Hey, if you want to find out how you can win one of these custom-built Gamecock cruisers, what you can do is just click on the link.